Coming up.
I kept my record on a Big Chief tablet and a cedar pencil, and began using Cattlemax.
You have this dashboard that tells you breeding, pregnancy check. It shows you your production. Very easy to use.
The software is set up to use for people that have 10 cows or 10,000 cows.
It works phenomenally for us.
Learn how to better organize your ranch records to make your cattle operation more efficient and profitable next on The American Rancher. Welcome to another episode of The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. Drought, input costs, and fluctuating prices are just a few of the constant changes and challenges cattle producers face, whether you're big or small. Now more than ever, good records help cattle producers make better decisions. As the saying goes, you can't manage what you don't measure. Cattlemax is software for people who raise cattle. You can easily get specific information to evaluate how your cattle are performing. Cattlemax was created by ranchers for ranchers. In fact, their motto is Ranchers Helping Ranchers, and everyone on the Cattlemax team are ranchers themselves.
I raise Brangus cattle. Recently have kind of gone strictly registered or registered cattle, and raise and develop bulls and replacement heifers. And it's not a very big operation, but I hope it's a quality operation. And I've been in the cattle business since I was a child. From the start, I used a Big Chief tablet and a cedar pencil. I kept my records. I graduated from that to an Excel spreadsheet, and then got the trial of Cattlemax and used it. And this was a long time ago, back in 2006, and began using Cattlemax at that time, and have stayed with it.
I'm operations manager at Cattlemax. I joined the team in 2015. Prior to joining the team, I ran a 1,000 head cow-calf operation, both registered and commercial animals. We had all these needs to be able to keep up with our data, know where the cattle are, keep up with their performance, their sales. So we moved from trying to keep it on little 3x5 cards is what we started with. We moved to some software packages. We went through a couple before we found Cattlemax. Once we found Cattlemax, we realized this was the easiest package out there. It tracked all the data that we needed, gave us the results so that we could make decisions to better financially position us in the cattle market. Now we continue to use Cattlemax in my now 20 head operation, which is registered. We keep up with our pedigrees, we keep up with performance. We're able to use the interface with the association to transfer data. It just makes it easier. Even with 20 head, I cannot remember all the information I need to keep up with. So Cattlemax makes that easy.
After the break,
You have this dashboard that tells you breeding, pregnancy check. It shows you your production. Very easy to use. Couple buttons, have an entire pasture updated.
learn the power and simplicity of Cattlemax software and how it can work for your operation. You're watching The American Rancher.
Take the guesswork out of weighing your cattle with rugged, dependable, easy-to-use TrueTest weigh scales from cattlescales.com. Weights mean money in the cattle business. With TrueTest scales from cattlescales.com, you can determine accurate weaning weights, track weight gain, and ensure accurate treatment dosages. Our weigh scale experts can help you find the right system for your needs and educate you on how to use it. Start taking the guesswork out of weighing today and get your weigh scale at cattlescales.com.
We want a trust relationship with our customers. We want them to know that we care about them, that our products work, and we'll stand behind them.
To come back and purchase, to bid and buy their customers' cattle, they're very, very dedicated to a customer's product, and I think that creates a lot of longevity.
98, that's 63,000. Thank you.
Welcome back to the American Rancher. All-in-one record keeping on the ranch has finally come of age with easy-to-use Cattlemax software. Developed by ranchers who use Cattlemax for their own operations, Cattlemax software is easy to use and brings all your ranch records together in one place.
When I started working with my dad and my brother in the family business, I had no idea what cows we had, who they were, what their pedigrees were, what their breedings were, who their calves were from, and asked around to some other cattlemen and, about what program or how I would go about cataloging and figuring this out. Brad Wright with Ranch Hand Analytics guided me toward Cattlemax, and it has been amazing. I can pull records for all of the animals off of a horse. I can pull them chute side. I can pull them on a computer at home. I can pull them in the office. I can do wherever I am. I can get the records. My brother, his daughter, and my dad are able to access all the records as well at any time that they need. So it works phenomenally for us.
I find Cattlemax very easy to use. It's got the icons, the little pictures. You just click on them. It brings up the information you need.
It helps me in culling because I know how they produce and can compare them against the others and pick the top and get rid of the low end of the spectrum. And then it helps me, know in normal times which cows are the best producers and which ones I can perhaps, if they have a bull calf, choose to keep a good bull calf to develop into a mature bull.
And Cattlemax is just amazing. There's just so many things that are going on in Cattlemax that I could probably do in a spreadsheet, but I'd have so many sub-spreadsheets that I'd have to keep track of, and they'd have to tie in together, and it's just not appropriate.
Well, we always had a paper and tablet at the chute that would get filled with everything in the world by the time we got done working cows, and then we would go in the house and put it on an Excel spreadsheet and hope for the best after that, and have a tab for every year and try to combine it together and see how the cows did after a course of certain years. It was just confusing trying to keep all the data separate and organized, but yet get information out of it that was useful to improve our herd. And it was usually always a train wreck, but that's what we did. So
with Cattlemax, I can log in on my phone. I can update my information real time right there. I can also use my tablet, or if I do want to print out a worksheet and while we're working, use a worksheet, I can come back and put it in my Cattlemax when I'm done.
We have worksheets for those of us that still like to take paper out to the chute side and work. I mean, you can even make a treatment sheet. This one is narrowed down by pasture. You have a place for your medication, the dosage, and the booster date. All of these are editable. So the columns, what's in the top is what Cattlemax is going to provide you. What's in the bottom is what you're going to add in the field.
I started my business in July of 14 with the goal of helping ranchers with cattle records. Not only to better keep those records, but to also be able to better utilize those records. So I think Cattlemax offers the ability for somebody to do as much as they want to do with the program. It's very user-friendly for anybody that will sit down and take the time to, like most software, just click around and learn the program. I think it's very user-friendly, but it has a lot of flexibility to be used in the way that any program would want to use it.
And now, Cattlemax is more versatile than ever before. It's cloud-based, and that means that the data is available anywhere you have internet access, and changes are always in sync on all your devices. Cattlemax runs on any device with a web browser, including PCs, Macs, tablets, and smartphones. You can also give access to others by creating logins for family members, ranch employees, accountants, and veterinarians.
Because it is cloud-based, I've got the same records on my phone that I see on the desktop computer. Now, any changes I make here, I see when I log in on the computer. Any I make on the computer, I see when I log in on my phone. So if you're in the pasture, there's no need to have a piece of paper or try to remember which antibiotic you gave that animal. It's just real simple to add these features right in the pasture, and it's done. There's no sitting up at night to remember what you need to do, or you lost that piece of paper and can't remember.
Since it's been online now, it's on my phone constantly. Every time I go out to the cows, I have it in my hand. I can look if I see something wrong with a cow. I can mark a note that she needs to have her foot looked at or an eye looked at, or if I see a calf that's growing good, I'll mark a note, or if I see a bull breed a cow, I can mark that down and put a breeding in. But it keeps track of herd health, breeding, pregnancy checks, anything I want to know about the pastures, grazing, hay, anything.
I'm currently involved with 65 operations that are utilizing Cattlemax accounts, ranging from 10 head to all the way to my largest herd over 2,000 cows, both registered and commercial. Cattlemax has jumped through the hoops with all the breed associations in order to ensure ease of registrations and turning in of data and limiting the amount of double entry of data. With the number of cows that I'm handling records on right now, double entry is one of the things that's one of my big pet peeves, and Cattlemax has the interfaces in place that allow us to enter the data one time and have the imports and exports with breed associations that allow for not only faster submission of data, but also less opportunity for human error.
The power of Cattlemax really shines in its ability to generate reports so that you can get more out of your records. No matter the size of your operation or how little or how many data points you track, Cattlemax is unmatched in its capacity to generate the information you need in any combination when you need it.
Through the reports, I can really gain a lot of information on our herd. I can tell who's performing, who's not performing. It gives me calving intervals for each of our cows, so we know exactly which ones are staying within a good calving interval window, and then those that are not performing for us.
We have 37 preset reports. As you can see, we've added a few here. All of these reports are editable, so you can get the information that you like to see. Maybe you tie it down to a certain pasture that you want the information on. So when you do that, it shortens it down to just the animals in that one pasture.
So as you can probably hear in the background, today has been a full day of weaning calves. With Cattlemax, I was able to wake up this morning and pull up my weaning worksheet in seconds and print that out, and it told me immediately which calves I had that were ready to be weaned, who the dam was, what pasture they were in, and then I can sort them by pasture, I can sort them by personal herd number, I can sort them by dam number. I have all kinds of flexibility as to what works best for our program. For us, it worked best to sort them by pastures.
If you've got a calf herd, or if you've got a cow herd or the bull herd, you can click on those. You can then drill down to individual animals that are in these groups. And then from there, if you're down looking at the cow, you can look at her performance, her health, her calves, her offspring. And if she's in a breeding program, you can see which bulls previously and currently she's been bred to. So the ability to drill down and then drill over, if you want to check the offspring individually, you can then click on that. So much of it is linked together that you can just drill down and then move over and check out individual components of an animal's performance or their health or their offspring. It's terrific, and it's very easy to use.
Another feature I like is being able to weigh and enter weights easily, either importing weights and that kind of thing, for me to know what I'm producing.
We use Cattlemax as the repository of the information that's being collected at chuteside. We've got the true test, we've got the scale, and the control unit, and that's collecting all the data on the animals as they're coming through here. So the next thing is to just download it, and we can download it in seconds to our phones.
Coming up,
there are several features in Cattlemax that I think make it superb for what we're doing.
see what's under the hood of Cattlemax software and learn how you can take a little test drive right now free of charge.
Say goodbye to faded, smeared, and hard-to-read cattle tags. Instead, get custom tags with guaranteed readability at cattletags.com. It's easy to order customized tags with your ranch name, logo, telephone number, or management codes, laser engraved for long-term readability. We feature Allflex visual, EID, and USDA tags delivered right to your door with no minimum order. Experienced ranchers are available to answer your questions. Get your custom tags now at cattletags.com.
If you're in the stocker business, you know exceptional care and good nutrition are the keys to healthy, profitable cattle. The Gain Smart Stocker program provides all the tools you need to minimize stress at receiving, stimulate appetite quickly, and create efficient gains on forage or feed. Plus, feeding Gain Smart makes your cattle eligible for Superior's first ever value-added nutrition program. Learn more about the Gain Smart Stocker program and find a dealer near you at gainsmart.com.
Take control of current market conditions on Superior Livestock's weekly video auction. Register your lot load cattle by Tuesday, sell them on Thursday, putting you 2 days from money with the largest cattle marketing network in North America. Superior Livestock's weekly video auction has over 8,000 active and qualified buyers, and they're paying top dollar. Yep. Jump in. The bidding is hot. Call us or click superiorlivestock.com to learn more.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. Since 1999, Cattlemax software has been the gold standard for record keeping on cattle ranches worldwide. Designed and used by everyday ranchers, Cattlemax is as simple to use as it is powerful. And it's built to keep track of the efficiency and profitability of everything you need to track on your ranch.
There are several features in Cattlemax that I think make it superb for what we're doing.
You have this dashboard that tells you breeding, pregnancy check. It shows you your production. Very easy to use. Couple buttons, have an entire pasture updated. Using our group update feature, it's great. You work your animals by pasture, you can click all those animals and update it quickly. Everything's right there at your fingertips. You can search an animal, use your EIDs, get your reports fast right there in the field or if you're in the office.
So if you turn a set of bulls or a bull on this pasture, what it does, it automatically creates a breeding for every age eligible animal in this pasture. So you don't have to go through and select each one to breed. You just choose the whole bunch, turn the bull in, and they're all bred.
One of the other features that we use quite often in our pastures is the ability to keep track of what cows are in what pasture. And we use that to see how long a pasture's rested before we put the cows back in. So during the springtime and summertime, we'll use that feature to move these animals around to make sure they haven't been in a pasture that was just eaten down 2 weeks ago, for instance.
So we can go and look at our whole list of pastures. So if you put your address in, Google will pretty much find where you live. You have the option to draw your pastures in there as you create them. When you draw it, it figures your acreage for you. And so it makes it really nice to be able to look and know exactly where that pasture is on your place. This is one that we have created. Looking in the 12-mile run pasture, you can see we have 23 animals and it's 30.69 acres. This is every animal that's in there now, how long it's been there, and you also have the option to keep notes on these pastures. So if you cut hay on them or you sprayed them for armyworms, like I had to do a lot this year, or any aeration, or just anything you do in that pasture, you can keep notes on it and pull them back up at any time. You can also keep up with your pastures that don't have animals in them, like maybe a hay meadow.
Well, I have a small cattle operation. On any given year, I'll average 40 to 60 head. But even just starting out, with just a few head, I found out that records were just real important. One of my favorite additions is the equipment feature. It lets me take my tractor, my utility vehicle, record all the maintenance records. I could keep my fuel filters, like the numbers in stock in the program. So if I'm in town and know I've got to make an oil change or a fuel filter change, I've got the serial numbers. I go right to the store, get what I need, and get home. But the records are all there, and it helps me keep track of last time I did something, because life's busy. I don't ranch full time, and I forget things. And by being able to go back to my Cattlemax records, I can stay on top of like the last time I serviced my tractor and make sure it stays in good working order. Another great feature in Cattlemax is just being able to track your rainfall. Because if you're in agriculture, rain's important. And too much can hurt you, and not enough can hurt you. And to be able to track the rainfall through a given year is important and compare it to previous years. And it helps make decisions on future planning on, pasture projections. Well, how many cows can I stock in a particular pasture? What's been our trends for rainfall? And those kind of decisions are easier to make when you have that information just really at the touch of a button.
Some other things that I really enjoy about Cattlemax is the way that it tracks our revenue and our expenses.
You go to the feed store, buy some feed, or you buy some hay, and it's easy to lose track on how much you're spending on your cattle. Well, it's just real easy to scan a receipt and enter your financial information into Cattlemax, and what that does for you is it lets you just see in black and white what your operation is really doing. How much does it cost you? Are your cows making you money? Every dime that I spend and every dime that I take in goes into the program. And at the year end, I can just, at the touch of a button, they have the year-end analysis report.
Now this is what all the CPAs really like. This pulls all the information from Cattlemax that you need to turn into your CPA in a single one-click operation. And then you can download it as a PDF or in a spreadsheet. If we just look real close at the PDF, it breaks it down into purchases and expenses, death loss.
And that report will generate for me the cattle that I've sold, and it'll record if I had purchased that cow or if it's one that I've raised. It'll track every expense that we had over the year, and it's just a comprehensive way and an easy way to turn it into your accountant, and mine loves me for that feature.
And I can easily pull up a customer and I can see which animals they have purchased, so that I can help them in their selection for their next bull to ensure that we're not duplicating pedigrees and that it works with their females that they've purchased. So it's just been super useful for us in every category that I can think of.
Cattlemax is the record-keeping software of choice for cattle producers worldwide, and it's designed for ranchers by ranchers.
Our motto is ranchers helping ranchers. Every member of our team is a rancher and has used Cattlemax extensively. Our goal is to help you manage your operation by producing software that is easy to use, that will give you the results to make the best decisions possible.
By now you've seen how Cattlemax can help you organize your ranch records so that you become better organized, save time, and improve decision making. To find out more about Cattlemax, visit cattlemax.com and sign up for your free trial. There's nothing to download, and your free trial gives you full access to the software for 21 days, no credit card required. That's all the time we have today. To find out more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. For the entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
The software is set up to use for people that have 10 cows or 10,000 cows. It doesn't matter. We have a solution that will help any size ranch.
And I can't imagine going back to a Big Chief tablet and a cedar pencil.